All right, fishing family, welcome back to another episode. As you can see, the water clarity is suboptimal, and I mean suboptimal with an exclamation point. So that's gonna be the perfect segue into today's video. Do bass see color the same way that we do? Do they see those reds the way we see red, green the way we see green, and so on and so forth? Well, we're gonna discuss that because it looks like color is gonna be an important factor if I'm gonna try to catch some fish today. So let's get upstream. Let's see if we can find some clearer conditions. All right, let's get to it. Hey, guess what? Check out this awesome rod holder that my buddy Chris Lancaster gave me. This might get a lot of work today. Man, check that out. Now I can walk hands-free, keep my rod in my rod holder. Man, I like it. Man, it's so nice that people actually watch your videos, see something and be like, man, I always see that Trey puts his rod in between his legs and holding it. I bet he could really use one of these Pine 9 rod holsters. And then he goes out and buys me one. So, hey, thank you, Chris, man. I greatly appreciate it. This is going to get some use today. All right, let's get upstream, see if we can find some clearer water. All right, fishing family. Hey, since we are dealing with stained water conditions today, today's topic is really going to be about color. And do bass see color the same way that we interpret color? Do they see reds the way we see reds, blues the way we see blues, and greens, and so forth and so on? Well, a lot of times as anglers, we can make the mistake of anthropomorphic issues. And what I mean by that, that definition means where we take human characteristics and project those onto animals or fish. So we think that, hey, I see this as chartreuse. I can see this chartreuse in this stained water. So therefore, bass can see that exact same color. Well, I did manage to get me a smallie. Hang on, come on, buddy. Look at that. Look at that little bitty guy. Because why not? That's how I see it. Well, that logic is actually flawed because we really need to break down and determine, do bass really see color the way that we see color? And I think you're going to be surprised to find out that they don't. They actually don't. As humans, we have trichromatic vision, whereas bass have dichromatic vision. What that means is if you look in our retinas on a microscopic level, you'll see rods and cones. So the main thing that we're focusing on are cones, because cones are what help us to distinguish color. And in our eyes, we have short, medium, and long wavelength cones that allow us to see color. Short wavelength helps us pick out those blues and purples and violet colors. Medium wavelength, that lets us see greens, and long wavelength lets us see reds and oranges. Well, bass do not have long wavelength cones in their retinas, therefore they can't see red. Or is it just that bass do not see red in the full color spectrum that we do as humans, up to 750 nanometers? Now, I see a lot of you scratching your head going, well, wait a minute, I use red all the time and I catch fish on it and it's like one of my go-to baits. And you're right, I fish red as well. But sometimes what it might actually be is it's not the color that the fish are attracted to. It could be the actual silhouette caused by the contrast in that color. That color is going to give contrast on the background in their environment. So it might be like us, like, I know you've all seen Predator, you know, what's that noise it makes? That's a bad, I know some of you can probably make the exact noise that Predator does, but it would be like us seeing that camouflage where he's got his body cloaked and all you see is something moving through the bushes. Well, red may serve that exact same purpose. It's not maybe the red that they're seeing, but it's that motion, it's that silhouette of something that they see moving through their environment, and that is what elicits that bite. So here is what I have done. I've gone on, there are websites that you can go on for people that have vision impairments, whether it's color blindness, whatever, The really neat thing is you can plug in pictures on this website and you can look at images from the standpoint of trichromatic, protanopia, or protanomaly. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take the baits that I'm fishing, and then I'm going to take pictures of those, plug those in to this website that you can see exactly what bass will interpret that color as. You'll be interesting to find out some of the things that, I mean, you think that, hey, the way a pink looks, you'll be surprised. Pink actually looks like this really light, subtle, almost purple, very light. So I'm gonna do this all day. It's gonna be pretty fun. We're gonna see, hey, does color really matter? I don't think it does, but you'll probably be surprised at it's not the color that the fish are attracted to, but it's maybe the contrast that they're seeing, and that's what's causing the bite. All right, let's get down here. We're still looking for some clearer water. I might switch up for something here in a second. We'll get to it. All right, guys. All right, we've got to another section upstream. Let's navigate down here and just see. This is going to be clearer. It should be clearer than further downstream for sure. Yeah, it's not just chocolate milk. I've definitely tied on a, I think this is called the Clash by Ned Wacky. So I'm definitely gonna need some chartreuse, some orange in this. Yeah, it still ain't clear, but we're gonna make a couple casts and see if we can get something to commit. All right, so I got a quiz question for you. So on the color spectrum, the human eye, we can see between 380 nanometers up to about 750 nanometers. Anything below 380 goes into ultraviolet. Anything above 750 goes into infrared. So I'm fishing a chartreuse colored bait. What would you guess? Give me the range on that scale between 380 and 750. Where do you think chartreuse is going to fall on that scale? All right, so you should all have enough time by now. So since we've got green and yellow that make up chartreuse, it's going to fall in the middle of our wavelength spectrum, and it's going to come in between approximately 565 and 590 nanometers. So how many of you got it? I see a lot of you out there like, yeah, I was right on it. And I see a couple of you out there that are puzzled. Brian, for one, he's like, I know about nanner pudding and I know about nanner bread, and both are really delicious. So I have to apologize. I know I'm a little country. I didn't say nanner maters, so I said nanometer. So I'll have to try to enunciate my words more properly. I know I'm a little country, but I apologize for that. So Brian, we ain't talking about nanners and we ain't talking about garden fresh and maters. We're talking about nanometers. So that's going to be M cones in the retina, and that is ideal for bass, man. That's really right in where those eyes are really focused in on. So that's a perfect color spectrum for bass. I think as long as I stay in the shallow water and not the deep sections, target current, water is going to be clear enough to fish. I'm going to start out with this Helga Monster in the Clash. This is a laminate. It's chartreuse on one side, orange on the underbelly, just because this water is pretty stained up here. There's a little bite right there. Well, I did manage to get me a smallie. Hang on, buddy. Look at that. Look at that little bitty guy. Hang on, buddy. Just how easy enough. There we go. That's the smallest little guy I've caught in a while. Wow. All right, get on back in there, buddy. Thank you. Well, we're not getting skunked, you know. I mean, what else can you say? We're not getting skunked. All right, fishing family. Well, I think we're going to call it at this creek. I've only caught the one really small. Excuse me. That I caught the nice B-Max size fish. I mean, that would have looked great hanging on the wall in the office. That you know, he would have bragged to his dad about, and his dad probably would have given him crap for. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. We're gonna pack up. I know when to cut bait and run, I'm just not seeing the concentration in this creek, and I did find clear water, but we're gonna go find another creek and see if we can do better somewhere else. So we're gonna pack up, get out of here. I got about 30-minute walk out of here, and we're gonna get on the road. All right, let's get to it. This creek's gonna be any better. I sure hope so. All right, fishing family, we've made it to our second creek, and as you can see, the water is stained here as well. So we're going to have to hike upstream to see if we can find some clearer water. I'm definitely going to keep my chartreuse helga bite on for the moment, and if the water clarity starts to clear up, we'll switch maybe to something else. But man, Operation Find Clear Water continues. Second creek. Let's push up this stream and see what we can find. I don't think I've ever walked this far into this creek without a fish. This is a little odd today. Definitely a little odd. Let's check right back over there in that shade. Shallow, but there's chunky rock over there. Just trying to work this tube kind of slow because this water is warm. Oh, yep, there we go, right there. There we go. Now he is running downstream hard. Dang, this is a good fish. This is a really good fish. Oh, whoa, hold on, buddy, hold on, bud, hold on, hold on, buddy, hold on. I need to go ahead and get my net out. All right, stay right there in the water, buddy. All right. Starting out pretty good right there. Got him on our mini tube. All right. Get this guy pinned. There we go. All right, buddy. Hold on. Sure you're breathing. All right, one more look at him. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right, guys. It's been a slow start to the morning. I've walked a lot further in this creek than normal to get my first bite, but very nice. We got him right over there in that shady section. Very shallow over there. Probably less than 1 foot of water. A lot of chunky rock, though. Man, I cast over there and I just saw his wake shoot out and grab that. So he went aggressive after it. We got him right there on our mini tube by Ned Wacky. I went with something a little darker, a little flake on the belly. I am getting light penetration in the water here, so therefore at least that flake will be somewhat beneficial because I see that the sun is penetrating all the way down to the bottom of the creek floor. Therefore it'll pick up a little bit of that reflection, so that's good. But I mainly went with this darker color because it gives a really good contrast. This water's still just a little stained. So, all right. Very nice. That was a good fish. All right, let's keep going. Watch. I'm gonna use even my tripod. If I can't see where I'm stepping, I don't want to step. I'm going to use this tripod just to spook a snake if it is in there. That'd be enough to get him to move. All right, check out this little guy right here. So when it comes to the eyesight of bass, since they lack those long wavelength cones, That means you can probably compare this to the condition protanopia, which would be red color blindness, or probably something like protanomaly, which would be the lack of full red vision. Now, if they had trichromatic, that would be blue colored blindness. They would probably have problems spotting this little guy, but I'm telling you what, he's in trouble because they have those short wavelength cones which allow them to pick up blues and violets. That tail right there is a dinner bell just sitting there. Lick, 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 lick. You better be careful. All right, let's keep going. All right. Always use precaution, always. A little bit better one. Come here, baby. Come here, come here, come here, come here, real quick. Come here. Come here, baby. All right. Hang on, baby. Come here, hang on. Hold on. I'm gonna put you right back in the water. Just let me get the hook out. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, get on back in there, buddy. All right, now let's see. Oh, man, got 2 on this little paddle tail so far. Maybe there. I know they're chasing bait fish this morning, so I'm just even went to just something that they're chasing. So, all right, let's see. I got this tree limb as a new addition right there, so I'll have to watch. Something getting me tangled up on a heartbeat right there. Man, this spot, this spot's ruined now. It just used to be such a good spot. It just has no depth anymore. This hole inside here used to just be a big, deep hole. Man, that stinks. All right. So the water clarity's starting to get better in here. I just switched over to a atomic attack. Let me see. Man, we're gonna get it up there. There we go. Well, I just switched over to the atomic attack Helga monster. Got this little guy. The water's getting a little bit clearer in here, so hang on, bud. All right, let's get him back on his way. Get him, buddy. This little spot last year held quite a few smallies. They were sitting right here in the choke point. Let me long cast up in there and just see. They would use those bushes on that left hand side for cover. Yep, there's one right there. Come here, buddy. All right, come here, buddy. Come here, bud. There you go. All right. Hang on, real quick. All right, there we go. Very nice. All right, he got himself unhooked real quick. Let's get him back on his way. Get on back out there, buddy. All right. Right there, he's looking at it. Okay, I finally got the guy, finally. Finally got him, he's decent. Come here, buddy. Come here, this, here, buddy, you're spitting your food up. You're spitting your food up, come here, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, real quick. There we go. All right, hold on. Good fish. Okay, well, hold on. You were hard as heck to get to. Okay, here, let's not thrash around and get that in your eye. All right, look at there. Got him on that Helga monster. Woo, buddy, he was barely hooked. I don't know what these guys, I mean, this was the weirdest thing. I mean, these guys picked this up. All right. These guys picked this Helga monster up at least 5 times. All right, he's a skinny 16. Wow. Okay, let's get him back in there. But there you go, buddy. These fish are ultra skittish. I'm telling you, they picked that bait up 5, if not 6 times. At least 3 different fish. They pick it up, spit it out. Pick it up, spit it out. And finally, I ran that Helga monster right back up past this grass patch. And he saw it coming up by that grass patch, and he went over, and then at that time, he just didn't hesitate. He popped it and he turned from me. And when he started going off, I knew I was going to end up having a good hook set with him swimming away from me. A lot of times if those fish are positioned facing you and you try to set the hook, sometimes you can pull that hook out. But with him swimming away from me, I knew that I was going to be able to definitely get a good hook set on him. So we got him. Very nice. All right, fishing family, who knew that anthropomorphic and protanopia and all these words and light spectrum and all that would come into play when we're talking about creek fishing? But hey, it actually does, and it's interesting to see. Have you ever thrown a bait and you thought, man, this color just looks like awesome. Why are the fish not biting it? They should bite it, because I think they should bite it. I love it. Well, once again, anthropomorphic, that's us exerting our will on these fish, saying, hey, you're going to see things the way I see it or else. But actually they see things a little differently. Hey, going forward, man, I'm going to use that protanopia filter on a lot of my baits. Just take a picture, throw it in there, and see what it looks like. It's interesting. That way I'll kind of know, hey, I want to see exactly what these fish are seeing based on the current conditions. Well, guys, I hope you've had fun coming down this rabbit hole with me, and I hope you've learned something from it. But till next time, hey, grab your poles, call your buddies, you have to make some memories. Give me some elbow! Boom! All right, guys, I love you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, we'll see you on the next video.